Cindi Bucato strikes again, but she failed to say that the Republicans only care about our soldiers when they can be used to further their war interests.
Crossing partisan lines today, a Minnesota Republican joins the Democrats and votes against a troop surge. Good evening, I'm Leah McLean.
Thanks for joining us. I'm John Mason. Jim Ramstad, one of 17 Republicans who crossed the aisle, supporting the unusual reprimand to a wartime president. Cindi Bucato live in the newsroom with the story. Cindi?
A simple two-sentence resolution fueled by hardcore opposition. Several Minnesotans voted in favor of the resolution, and in one case, that meant crossing party lines. Representative Jim Ramstad made a statement. He's one of 3 Minnesota House Republicans, but today he sided with the Democrats. Ramstad argues that American troops were never intended to police a civil war, which is why he was one of 246 congressmen to vote for the resolution.
We owe our troops a course of action in Iraq that is worthy of their sacrifice.
This is the first time Congress has admonished the president's Iraq policy. Freshman Democrat Tim Walz is also on record in support of the resolution.
What this Congress is saying is, had they done their job on Capitol Hill 3 years ago, the president wouldn't have pursued those failed policies, and perhaps Iraq would be much more stable.
The resolution does not cut off funding for troops. It will not prevent the president from sending more troops to Iraq. Still, supporters say it is a necessary statement. Republicans, however, argue the resolution will demoralize the troops and is irrelevant because it's non-binding.
How can we say you support our troops when you don't support sending people necessary to back them up to do the job that we sent them there to do to start with?
Now, the Senate will vote tomorrow on whether to take up this very same resolution, although it's unclear at this point if Democrats have the 60 votes they need just to get to the point of taking it up. Back to you.
Cindi, thanks. In Iraq today, insurgents rush to escape the capital as U.S. and Iraqi forces carry out the security crackdown there in Baghdad. Since the crackdown, the number of attacks is down. Military commanders, though, are worried about spreading the violence away from Baghdad. Insurgents have moved their attacks to some neighboring provinces recently where there are fewer American troops.
Then KSTP segued to a story about the latest car fatalities. But of course, they failed to mention the correlation between urban sprawl, car fatalities, and our oil abuse problem that got us into the Iraq mess.
A deadly crossover crash kills a Minneapolis man today. Just before 8 o'clock this morning, a car slammed into a truck on southbound 35W in Lino Lakes. The SUV driver, a 30-year-old man from Minneapolis, died at the scene. The truck tipped over into a ditch, and that driver suffered minor injuries. Investigators don't yet know what caused the SUV to veer into oncoming traffic.
And we've learned the name of the man killed in the crash on Highway 61 that blocked traffic near Hastings during rush hour. Investigators say 2 cars collided in the southbound lanes, one skidding into oncoming traffic, and the driver of that car, 42-year-old Michael Novak of Cottage Grove, was killed. A MnDOT worker in critical condition after a van hit him in a construction zone near Brainerd. A driver failed to follow the construction lane change on Highway 210 and ran into 57-year-old Larry Potter. He is in intensive care right now to Twin Cities Hospital with head and leg injuries.